never seen.
Yo, what's up guys? Bill here, Classic Rock and Metal Review. Time to resume a semi-regular episode on this channel. We do the top 6 Black Sabbath rarities year by year. We're up to Volume 4, 1972. This episode should have been out on the 13th. Doing my best to catch up. That laryngitis has really killed me. And it still is. So, trying to get it done. Guys, if you can like and subscribe, that'd be killer. We do stuff like this all the time, as you probably know, may or may not know. But Sabbath gets their own day, one day each month. So we're going to focus on pretty much the only source of rare material from Sabbath this year. It's from the band themselves, the officially released box set or deluxe edition, Super Deluxe Edition, whatever you may want to call it. Awesomeness here. You gotta get it. Looks like the price has run up to 60, 80 bucks at this point. Probably means stock's running low. But you know what? At least it's still gettable. Grab it while you can. Looks like Sabotage still at 35 as far as the Super Deluxe editions go. Paranoid and I think Technical Ecstasy is still available too. Paranoid, you're paying through the nose. So grab this one while you can. So just to sort of revisit the box set quickly, we got 4 CDs out of it. First one being the original album, remastered by Andy Pierce, Matt Wortham, 2021. Nice remaster job, sounds great. This is a regular album, so we're not talking about this one today. We're talking rarities. So that'll be discs 2 and 3. Will not be disc 4 live in the UK. Pretty much live at last. A little variation on that one. We'll get to that next episode when we do Volume 5. So we'll be focusing on CD 2 and 3. Steven Wilson. Now this is really kind of unique when you think about it. Kind of took it for granted when it first was announced and came out that you have 2 CDs of outtakes and alternate takes, false starts as it says on disc 3 here, and you go and get one of the best engineers to sort of remix it, Steven Wilson. Kind of unusual, like instead of tapping him for the regular album, they tap him for the outtakes. But, our gain there, because I think he does an amazing job, as pretty much everyone does. Disc 2, we get our more fleshed out, nearly complete outtake versions of 6 songs, although Under the Sun is just an instrumental. So really just 5 full songs. And Under the Sun, no vocals. And on disc 3, a little bit more of the same, but these songs are more rougher versions. Still working on them. I think there's 5 different Wheels of Confusion on here. For some reason, they put it all on one track, but one of the versions of Supernaut here is actually like 7 or 8 takes of it, all in one track. I think that was a little stupid. My one critique probably. And honestly guys, when I bought this box set, I'm somebody that when I listen to like these alternate takes and things, which I love, once I'm done listening to those, it makes me want to hear the regular album. So when I bought this, I put the rough stuff on first, CD 3, false takes, rehearsals, songs are just getting going. Then disc 2 with the more fleshed out versions that are nearly complete. And then I finally put on the regular album. So that's just my own thing. When I hear those alternate takes, it makes me want to, from other bands too, makes me want to hear the finished product when I'm done. So there are our 2 candidates for our rarities, and there's one other one in the top 6 that's not Black Sabbath, from 1972, absolutely Sabbath related. Maybe you can guess what that is. Let's just get right into it. Let's go to the number 6 song. You got to remember though, we're talking Volume 4 era here, right? I mean, now anything's up for grabs. Everything's a candidate here. If there would have been some good quality concerts from this year, that would have been fine too. There just aren't. There's not too much out there and it's audience stuff. So I'm just sticking to basically the studio stuff, soundboard stuff. We have no soundboard shows from this tour. So, and also keep in mind that 3 songs from Volume 4 were not on either of these alternate discs. There's no Under the Sun with vocals Even the instrumental is only half the tune. No St. Vitus Dance, no Cornucopia. I know Cornucopia isn't a live album, but that's 73, so that's going to be its own gig. So number 6, I'll go with Changes. This is off of CD 2. This is our disc where these songs are pretty much done. I think what we get here is Steven Wilson doing what he did with his Technical Ecstasy remix, in that sort of strips it back a little bit. Ozzy's vocals that are drenched in echo on the regular album. Almost no echo at all here. He does leave all the strings intact, so it's pretty close to the regular version, but it's also only about 3 minutes, so not quite as long, not all the echo, so it's, like I said, a little more bare bones. And I think we get a little bit of different lyrics in there too. But CD2, near complete songs, near finished. I'll put Changes up there. Number 5, this is also off of CD2, and same sort of deal. Snowblind. This is a song that, you know, when I think back to when I first got into Ozzy, Speak of the Devil, then Sabbath, starting with like Never Say Die, Paranoid, and then Sold Our Souls. Sold Our Souls, basically all those songs that greatest hits, right? Like any of them are really big hits. I guess a couple. But Snowblind, considered sort of a hit. It was on the Ozzy Live album and all. So once I started getting into the albums of Sabbath, all those Sold Our Soul from rock and roll songs sort of took a back seat to all the new stuff that I was, you know, experiencing. But in the last like 10 or so years, Snowblind is just working its way back up to killer for me. It's a song that really just has a groove, you know. It's a groove song. Steven Wilson removes the solo out of this one, or perhaps there wasn't even a solo recorded as of yet when this outtake was recorded. Who knows? But, you think that's one of my favorite solos of all time. You think it would really suffer without it, and it doesn't. That's just a testament to how great this song is. Number 5, Snowblind off of CD 2. Number 4, this is your sort of surprise and your extra credit. This would come from none other than Elf, January or February of 72, live in Cortland, New York, a place called The Bank. I think that's Ronnie's hometown. Don't have a specific date, but I gave you the general vicinity of the dates. The very last song on CD 2, War Pigs. Elf, of course, more of like a boogie rock band by this point. And they could jam. They really were good live. In my opinion, when they got in there with Richie, they sort of clammed up, or maybe they just, as a studio band, they lose some of their energy, in my opinion. And I've heard their regular albums and all too. But War Pigs on here sounds cool. A little boogie rocked up a bit. Drums a little, funky in spots. Guitarist, some wah-wah action going on with this solo. But the jamming's great. It's different but faithful enough to the Sabbath version. And of course, you just gotta love Ronnie James Dio putting his stamp on a Sabbath song 8 years before he would be singing it with the band. So absolutely number 4, 72 rarity. War Pigs by Elf. CD 3 now, we're gonna tap this one for a couple of songs. I'm gonna go with Supernaut, which is actually track 7 on this bad boy. This is the version where, you get what is pretty close to the regular version for about 3 minutes. Then it just sort of just keeps going and going and going. And Tony's trying a little bit of a variation on a theme with that riff. And it's just cool. It sounds awesome. Sounds mean as hell. One of my favorite tunes from Sabbath. And just hearing them sort of toy with it at the end there for a couple minutes, to me, great sort of fly on the wall experience. It's almost like they pretty much have the song down, but they're not sure the structure yet, so let's tinker with it a little more. So 5-minute version of it works for me. So number 3 song, Supernaut from CD 3 of the Super Deluxe Edition. All right, so number 1 and 2, they basically go together, although it is 2 separate songs. Once again, CD 3 from the box set. I'm going to go with Wheels of Confusion and then The Straightener. Now, you got 5 versions of Wheels on this disc to start it out. And I think the first 2 are kind of flubs. 3, 4, and 5 all pretty similar in that they're pretty much done. You can sort of take your pick there. I think number 4 was the one that I kind of thought was maybe a little bit cleanest, best. But take your pick. Either one of those versions of Wheels of Confusion. And then the 6th song on this disc is an outtake of The Straightener as a separate song. It's just kind of cool hearing it by itself. You know, when I put these on a compilation CD that I made myself, I just put them back to back. But it's kind of cool just hearing Wheels come to an end and then the Straightener start, as opposed to that sort of blending that they did on the final product. I just love me alternate tracks, rough mixes, rehearsals, whatever you want to call them. So this box set really friggin' delivers. I just wish every box set had this many alternate takes and things to listen to. You know, absolutely love the album, Volume 4. I mean, I think it's my favorite Sabbath album. I think it has been for quite a few years. This one and Never Say Die, the ones I've been listening to the most for about the last 10, 15 years. The book in here is awesome. Nice write-up. Remembrances of the era by the band are cool as hell. I really kind of like all those photos of the EPs and singles, you know. You see them now and then, you're on eBay or something, but having them all in one place, because all those covers are so different from each other. And they did a nice job with this box. Lastly, Volume 4 related, the best version of this CD you can get is a bootleg version from Japan that is a CDR, but it's only $5 or $10. Track it down. It is a needle drop from the original UK Vertigo vinyl album. And it sounds amazing, as in perfect, okay? Don't worry, it was a mint album supposedly used, and it sounds like it. I don't hear one pop or anything. This thing almost sounds surround sound. Incredible. And as a bonus, number 7, it's got to be, and I'll drop a link for this one, just like I have with the other editions. There was a radio spot for Volume 4. If you haven't come across it on YouTube, I will drop the link. Really cool. As opposed to the one in 71 where they had just some fans talking about the band on the commercial and a little bit of music in the background too. This one, this radio spot, pushing the evil down your throat, evil, dark sounds of Black Sabbath. Really cool. There's your bonus track. So there's 6 tracks and a bonus for you. Black Sabbath Rarities, Volume 4, how appropriate, 1972. We've already done 69, 70, 71. If I remember, drop a link for those. I recommend you guys subscribe if you already haven't. And if you have, thanks a lot. It's really cool. Building our own little Sabbath bootleg music cult here. Trying to do some different things. That was really the whole idea behind the channel. Doing some content that I couldn't find myself. All right, guys, that'll do it for today. Appreciate it all. I will catch you soon.